Hey guys, it's been some time since we've last talked about TVs, and today we've got a special one for you. We're looking at a 64-inch TV from Hisense, part of their high-end UX Mini LED series. It's priced at around 5,000 Singapore dollars, and I've got some cool features to cover that even beat out our LG C1 OLED TV in a few different ways. This Hisense TV comes packed with numerous features, yet it's also important to be mindful of some potential limitations. Let's dive right in. First, I want to cover the physical side. This 65-inch TV is not as thin as those super slim OLED TVs due to what's Hisense stuffed inside of it. But to be honest, this does not bother me at all, and it shouldn't be a concern for you either. What truly matters is that it looks good from the front, fits well on your TV stand, and leaves room for a soundbar. The sides have small bumps for the built-in speakers, which are part of a great sound system. We'll talk a bit more about that in a bit. On the back, this TV has interchangeable power plug, the standard kettle lead size, which I personally love. It's a nice change from those fixed cables. For connections, we have 4 HDMI ports, which include one with 144Hz 4K support, one for the eARC with some video support, as well as 2 60Hz ports. There are also 2 USB ports, with the bottom one being more focused on power delivery, so you can use as a power supply for dongles or any other accessories. Plus, there's a bunch of audio ports and DVB-S and T antenna ports. Right under the screen, there's a small microphone and privacy button to turn the microphone off. Right under all of that, there's a simple button to turn on or off the TV. Now let's focus on the main attraction, the display itself. This TV is using the Mini LED technology with some Hisense own secret sauce. Mini LED technology is often compared to OLED for its ability to offer high contrast ratios and deep blacks due to the smaller LEDs that provide more localized dimming zones. This means you get less blooming and better control over brightness and darkness in various parts of the screen. And ULED, as described by Hisense, is a proprietary technology that enhances the performance of the LED TVs through its combination of different methods, including quantum dots and local dimming, to improve color accuracy and contrast. In this range, they've managed to squeeze up to 20,000 mini LED lights with up to 5,000 local dimming zones. This amount of light provides up to 2,500 nits of claimed peak brightness. These numbers are for the highest end 85-inch model though. The 65-inch we have here uses 1,456 dimming zones, which feature around 7,500 LEDs. Due to its smaller size and peak brightness of it is 1,500 nits. Despite this, the first time we turned it on in the dark, it was surprisingly bright, especially since we're accustomed to a more subdued brightness of our LG C1 OLED TV that we use. The difference in brightness is quite striking. But from general use, I wouldn't say that I felt like this panel was much different in terms of contrast. The content looks punchy and very vivid. I pretty quickly turned on Filmmaker Mode because everything seemed to be a bit too intense. I would generally recommend doing this on most TVs, if that's an option. It helps cut down on extra post-processing. For example, in one of the movies we watched, we noticed some odd artifacts that seemed to be caused by motions moving. While this TV offers a lot of brightness, I did notice some glare during the day with the curtains open, though it's not as pronounced as the glare we have on the OLED display under the same conditions. The high brightness really stands out when you're watching darker scenes and then open up the menu, which has a lot of white on the screen. It is quite jarring. The feature that really caught my attention, and I wish that other TVs would adapt, is the support for a wide range of video and audio formats, including Dolby Atmos and most importantly Dolby Vision. These come with gamer-friendly features as well, like the FreeSync Premium Pro. So this ultra-bright TV that supports HDR can actually let you play games in HDR. Another standout is the processing power, which includes a host of features and nearly instant responsiveness. Scrolling through the menus is delay-free, which is such a breath of fresh air. I've tried TVs across different price ranges, and this one really shines. It might seem minor, but now that I experienced it, the thought of using anything slower is something I'm not looking forward to. The software Hisense is using is quite good, but it still has a lot of room for improvement. They've packed it with loads of apps, and most of the popular video streaming services even have their own dedicated buttons. While there's a fair selection of apps in the App Store, it doesn't quite stack up to Google's TV massive library of over 10,000 apps. For instance, VIDAA comes with pre-installed Plex media player, which is really cool, but personally we've moved away from Plex to using MB, and that app is not available in this platform, which is a bit disappointing. I also appreciate what Hisense has done with voice commands. Thanks to the TV's quick processing, the voice assistant responds really well. However, I would prefer it integrating with more of the larger ecosystems. For now, it seems like only Apple HomeKit is compatible with this model. And just like with other home assistants, it can sometimes activate by mistake. It's worth noting that some other Hisense TVs offer integration with Google Home and Alexa, so that's something to consider. The mobile app is also quite handy, especially when you need to input a complex login details. You can easily copy and paste text or type it in from your phone, as well as navigate through the apps. But personally, I find the remote satisfactory enough. It may not be the LG's magic remote, but it does the job. When it comes to the sound, I think Hisense has done a great job here, but I feel the effort is a bit wasted here, and let me explain. The speakers on this TV are probably some of the best I've ever heard, offering excellent stereo separation and surprisingly punchy bass. The overhead speakers are effective, though their performance varies depending on different content. Overall, these speakers certainly beat a cheap and maybe even mid-range soundbar. However, considering this TV price tag is over 5,000 Singapore dollars, you might be planning to invest in a high-end sound system as well to enhance your audio-visual experience. I'm curious to know, would you prefer a TV with a decent built-in speakers and a higher price, or maybe a more affordable TV with an average set of speakers, leaving you the option to upgrade your sound system separately? Let us know in the comments below. To test this TV for color accuracy, we used Portrait Displays Calman color calibration software and found that depending on the mode it is in, the color space coverage is significantly different, while the color accuracy remains very similar. Let's go over the results. In sRGB mode, the TV covers 112% of the BT709 color space and 75% of the DCI-P3 color space. This means it displays 12% more colors than the standard BT709 color space, which is used for normal HD TV broadcasting. However, it covers only 75% of a DCI-P3 color space, which is used for digital cinema and has wider range of colors. When we switch to DCI-P3 mode, the coverage increased to 155% of BT709 and 104% of DCI-P3. This is a significant improvement, especially for DCI-P3, as TV can display a broader range of colors more accurately, which is great for watching movies that use this particular color space. Lastly, in BT 2020 mode, the TV has 187% coverage of BT709, 126% of DCI-P3, and 85% of BT 2020 color space. BT 2020 is even wider color space that is used for UHD and 4K broadcasting. While the TV doesn't fully cover this space, it still shows 85%, which is quite good for a consumer TV. Generally speaking, this panel can and does deliver a good amount of color, but as its default settings, it's not the most color accurate. In our test, we found that in sRGB mode, the TV had an average delta E value of 7.4 with a maximum of 15. Switching to DCI-P3 mode, the average was 7.6 with a maximum of 15.9. And in BT 2020 mode, the average was 7.7 with a maximum of 15.4. These figures aren't particularly impressive. However, after resetting the settings and switching to Filmmaker mode, there was a significant improvement. The average delta E value dropped to 4.5 with a maximum of 7.7, which is performance I'd be quite satisfied for a living room TV. This comes to show that while the default settings might not be ideal, with some adjustment you can greatly enhance this TV color accuracy. When we checked the screen for uniformity, most of the screen was fine except for the top left corner. However, this wasn't noticeable in any of the content that we watched. As for the black levels, they are generally good. Sure, it's not OLED and you might see some halo effects during white on black tests due to the screen brightness, but this isn't really an issue when you're watching regular content. It's not something that should cause too much of a concern. Which leads us to the conclusion. Hisense has packed a lot of features into this TV, starting with a powerful chip that makes the operating system run incredibly fast and supports a wide array of video formats. I'm really glad to see support for Dolby Vision in particular. While the color accuracy could be better, and it doesn't come with Google TV, these issues can be addressed with a dongle like Nvidia Shield for those who need it. Overall, it's hard to find much fault with this TV. It excels in many areas and is at least good enough in others. What do you guys think? Which features stood out to you and what would you like to see improved or changed in the future models? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you think that this Hisense TV might be what you need, check out the link below for more details. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next one.